So there's this old saying that goes, if you don't run the day will run you. And I feel like that is very true, especially when it comes to having daily routines, because if you don't have an intentional, healthy routine, you're going to end up having an unintentional, potentially unhealthy routine. If you're not habit stacking healthy habits, you're leaving room and space for unintentional habits to stack up, which could be unhealthy because you're not putting intention into it. You're kind of just throwing the dice on the board and being like, oh, it landed on snake eyes, we're going with snake eyes, when snake eyes could be eating a donut for breakfast versus getting a 1 and a 3, which could be having a healthy breakfast. If you don't plan out your routines, you're leaving too much room to potentially develop unhealthy habits. Hey, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So this video has been super requested. You guys all know that I love my routines. I have morning routines, I have night routines, I have workout routines, I have eating routines. Basically, I have routines for everything set up in my life so that I don't need to think too hard about the healthy habits that I want to keep, and I just have to follow the routine and do them. And it takes out a lot of decision fatigue. It makes it so that I stay consistent with my goals, I stay consistent with my dreams. Oh, now that I say this, I have work routines. That's like another thing. I have routines for everything that is important to me. Obviously, I think it is important to also leave space in your day to just let things come to you, let things happen. You know, it's nice to also leave room for spontaneity, but for the things that we don't want to do, that we know we should do, that is going to lead us to a better, healthier life, that is where the routines come in. I think for me, the most important routine to have is my morning routine. My night routine is a little bit more loose and flexible, but I do think I want to put more effort into my nighttime skincare routine because I'm not as consistent with that. I will be honest. I do leave a lot more room at night for just going with the flow, but I still keep a night routine. It's just a lot less intense. But my morning routine is very strict and very one thing after another, because I feel like your morning routine is your most important routine because it sets you up for the day ahead of you. And I know for myself, if I don't do my morning routine, I feel so off the whole day. And I know when I do my morning routine and I'm present while doing it, I feel so good and present the rest of the day. So if you're gonna take anything away from this video, it is having and implementing a healthy morning routine for yourself. And it doesn't have to be too long, but starting with a morning routine will lead you to make the right decisions for the rest of the day, and can also inspire you to create routines for other things in your life, like your work schedule, the foods you eat throughout the day, or if you decide you want to work out, that whole thing. So I am a very habitual person. I think most of us are, and I've realized that if I don't set up my life to have intentional routines, I will unintentionally create routines regardless. So for example, an unintentional routine that I have set up in the past that I personally don't like for myself because it doesn't feel super productive is binge watching Netflix at night. So if I don't fill that space between like 8 and 9 p.m. with getting ready for bed, or winding down with my work stuff, or reading, or doing something that I feel is productive, like my nighttime skincare routine, I will end up filling it with watching Netflix, which there's nothing wrong with the occasional watching Netflix, but I have a tendency to become very habitual. So if I do the watching Netflix one night, and then I do it another night, and then I do it again the third night, that is me setting myself up for that becoming a routine for myself. And I personally don't want that to be a routine for myself. Like, okay, sometimes, you know, we want to just chill and watch Netflix. Okay, cool. But I don't want to make that my night routine every single night. That just doesn't feel productive for me. So when that happens, I have to literally pause and ask myself, Julia, is this going to help future you? And if the answer is no, then I pause the Netflix and I say to myself, okay, let's watch this another time, and let's go do our skincare routine, or let's finish up the work that we need to finish up that we paused on, or let's read a book that is going to help you kind of wind down and get sleepy, because for me, reading makes me really sleepy. So that literally happened to me last night. I was watching the new season of Love is Blind while eating dinner, and I was about to start a new episode, and I asked myself, I'm like, what time is it? 8 p.m. Okay, well, you have a choice. You can either watch this hour-long episode, which is not going to do anything for future you, or you can go finish up whatever whatever Snapchat stuff you were doing, whatever stuff you were doing on the computer, and get ready for bed. And then you'll do your meditation, you'll go to sleep early, and boom, you're good. You're gonna have a good day the next day. You're gonna wake up early. That is the option. Or you can watch the hour-long episode of this show, do everything you need to do an hour later, go to sleep an hour later, and then wake up feeling maybe good, maybe not. It's kind of a toss-up because you don't know. You might be tired. In that moment, I decided, no, I am going to choose to pause the show, get ready for bed, do my meditation, and then go to sleep at 9:30 and not risk being tired the next day because I knew I wanted to film this today and do a bunch of other things. So when it comes to building your routine, you really have to bring a lot of presence to it because in the beginning, it's going to be hard to do the healthier things, the harder things, the uncomfortable things that you know are going to lead to a better version of you in the future and a less instantly gratified you in the present. You're going to have to sit in that discomfort and be mindful enough and present enough to decide to make the choices that are best for your future self. And then once you create the routine and you have that template, it's a lot easier to just follow without thinking too much, and you kind of accept the discomfort the more you do it, and it becomes less uncomfortable and more satisfying because you know you are doing the things that are actually helpful and healthy and beneficial for you. And even let's say with working out, like you're gonna have some discomfort in that situation because it isn't a comfortable thing to do every day. Well, I guess it depends on the person, but working out for me is tiring, it's strenuous. I like to maintain the muscles that I have, so I have to push myself to lift weights. And personally, I do find it uncomfortable, but after I'm done, I do feel very satisfied and happy with my choice to work out every day. When it comes to things like eating healthy, eventually over time, your taste buds change and you adapt to enjoy healthier foods more. And then when you do eat something that is less healthy, whether it's like a fried food or a super sugary food, your taste buds aren't used to it and they actually don't find the flavor as delicious or satisfying as much as they used to because they are no longer attuned to it. So I know for myself, let's say I get a coffee and there's a lot of sugar in it, I can taste it and I don't want to drink it because it's too overpowering for me. It's not as enjoyable and delicious and instantly gratifying as much as it used to be when I was eating as much sugar. So now I prefer things like juices or coffees with less sugar or smoothies, which yes, juices and smoothies do have a lot of sugar, but that is natural sugar that is already occurring in the fruit versus adding a bunch of like syrups and cane sugar to a drink. Like I can't drink a Gatorade or a soda. Those things just don't taste right to me and I'm not attracted to it. It's not something that I have to actually stop myself from drinking because I've attuned myself to the healthier things over time by making it a routine. So in the beginning, when you are cutting out bad habits and replacing them with healthier habits and giving yourself that healthier routine, it's gonna be a challenge. But as you do it over time, more and more and more, it becomes something you don't even think about anymore and you just do it. Like for me, walking by a vending machine, I don't think about it. I'm not tempted by the chips and the sodas and the candy because they're not things I ever eat. They're not things I ever want to eat. But if I walk by a vegan bakery, that is a little tempting to me because those are things that I do want to eat, but I have the willpower to be like, okay, you can indulge sometimes, you can enjoy it sometimes, but I live my life in a way that is set up for me to consume more of what I find beneficial to me versus what is just indulgent. So I say all that to say that the more you stick to your healthy routines, the easier and easier it gets to not fall off track. So here are some of the benefits of having a healthy, intentional routine that is serving your highest good. One is you can eliminate a lot of decision fatigue. Like for me, every morning I know I'm gonna have my healthy yogurt, fruit, granola bowl because I feel like it gives me the energy I need to start my morning. I already know all the ingredients I need for it. It's super easy to make and it eliminates a lot of stress of me thinking, oh, what am I gonna have for breakfast? What time am I gonna have my breakfast? What do I need to figure out this, and this? Like I don't have to think about that at all. I know for myself at around 11ish in the morning, I'm gonna have that bowl. I don't even purposefully intermittent fast. That's just how I usually do my morning routine. You gotta do what's best for you. If you're the type of person who likes to pick out different foods for yourself in the morning, don't take that away from yourself. Still give yourself the opportunity. You can have a yogurt bowl one day, you can have oatmeal the next day, you can have an omelet the day after that. You can do whatever you want to do, but if deciding what you're gonna have for breakfast is something stressful to you, just pick out 1 2, 3, however many meals you need, if you need to have like some variation that you're gonna do every week that makes you feel good. And decide on the time. I decided around 11 a.m. I'm gonna have my breakfast, but I used to have my breakfast around 7. And I found over time that I decided I like to do my workout before I have my breakfast. But originally I used to like to have my breakfast before I do my workout. And that kind of leads me to another point. Like, the routine that you create for yourself is going to change and evolve over time. So you might decide, okay, I want to do my meditation, my workout, and then have my breakfast. Okay, cool. That might work for you. But maybe in a few months you might decide, actually, I want to do my meditation, have my breakfast, and then do my workout. Or you might decide, I want to do my workout, have my breakfast, then do my meditation. The order of things, whatever you decide that you want to do, can be changed to fit your lifestyle. You don't need to do something just because you saw another influencer do it. You should do things that actually are beneficial to you. So it might take some time or trial and error to figure out the right combination of healthy habits to do for yourself in the morning or whenever you do your routines, but the key is to stick with the things that you know work for you. So if you have to change things around, it's always okay to change things around. Another thing people have a hard time picking out, I know this is something that I struggle with, and I really do need to work on this actually, and that is picking out my outfits in the morning. Something I've been trying to do is sort of create a more capsule wardrobe for myself so that it's easier to pick out my outfits and that I have sort of a template to just pick something and put it on and I know I'm gonna like it because I pre-picked it basically. In some ways it is nice to have your own uniform for yourself that you pick out in your capsule wardrobe for what you're gonna wear, but also I know a lot of people love to pick out their outfits every day, and having a template or style that you're gonna repeat every few days or every day doesn't work for everyone because it's not fun. So if it's fun for you to pick out your outfit every day, don't take that away from yourself for the sake of just having a routine. Routine should be for the things you don't want to decide something new for every day. They should be for the things you kind of want to automate for yourself. Another thing that I've sort of automated for myself is my workouts. I know every Monday I'm gonna do arms, every Tuesday I'm gonna do legs, every Wednesday I'm gonna do full body, every Thursday I'm gonna do tennis, every Friday I'm gonna do legs again, and every Saturday I'm gonna do arms again, and then every Sunday I'm gonna do a stretch. I already have my workouts automated. I know I'm gonna go to the same YouTube channel every time to find a different workout. I do different workouts every day, but I go to the same channel and I have a designated day for a designated part, and that keeps me in check, and I don't have to make too many decisions when it comes to working out because I already automated so much of it. But having an intentional routine helps to keep you consistent. It also helps to keep you on track so you don't fall off of achieving your goals. And the opposite is true when you don't have one. It can become very easy for unhealthy habits to develop because you're not being intentional with your use of time. So that way, any distraction that comes up, any urge, anything you want to indulge in, you might act on because you don't have that routine there holding you accountable. You can also be swayed by others. So if people are asking you to do X, Y, and Z in the morning when you could be working out or making yourself a healthy meal, you might be like, oh, I don't have anything going on, I can just do that. Or if people want you to stay up late and do stuff and go out when you could be getting ready for bed so that you wake up early in the morning and then start your routine all over again, you could be swayed to stay out and then indulge in things that may not be as healthy. It can also cause you to become very sporadic with doing the healthier things that you want to do, and that can make it very hard to achieve your goals. Let's say you have a gym membership, right? And you don't have working out in your weekly routine or your daily routine. You just go to the gym when you decide to go to the gym and you don't when you don't. Well, that's going to cause you to be very sporadic with your working out, and when you work out sporadically, you can't really see progress or results because you're stunting your growth every time you aren't consistent. So then you have to start all over again. And that can really go for anything that you're trying to see progress in, because if you don't sustain the momentum of doing it consistently, you won't see the progress or results, and you're gonna have to keep spinning the wheel to get the momentum going in the first place, and you're gonna make it a lot harder for yourself. I wanna give you guys some tips on the best ways to get started on a healthy routine, because we know they're so important and we know they're going to bring us so much fulfillment in our lives that why wouldn't we at least to see for ourselves how much we can change when we have a healthy routine. So my first tip is to slowly stack healthier habits over time. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with a bunch of healthy habits at once, because when you do that, you're more likely to put it off, avoid it, get off track. It can seem really overwhelming and daunting. So we want to take it one healthy habit at a time. So if you're starting from scratch, zero, no routine whatsoever, the best place to start start is getting yourself on a healthy sleep schedule that works best for you. You want to go to sleep at a time where you get enough hours so that you're not sleepy and super tired when you wake up. And you want to wake up at a time where you can allow yourself enough time to get ready and do the things you want to do in the morning to set yourself up for the day before work or school or whatever you have going on. So that is the first place to start. And then after that would be incorporating things like maybe a meditation, maybe working out, maybe a healthy breakfast, you know, whatever you want to do first, but start with your sleep schedule and then go from there. And like I said earlier, when it comes to the actual healthy habits you are doing in the morning or at night for your routines, you may need to adjust them over time. So if you decide to do meditation, workout, breakfast, you might need to switch it around depending on what works best for you. It's important not to be so strict with yourself that you don't allow any room for change, because you might find when you switch something around, it can make your routine more enjoyable or make it flow better or just make you more productive as a whole. So be open to evolving your routine and changing it over time, especially in the beginning, because as you change, your routines will change with you and they will evolve to be better and better as you grow and become better and better. And the last tip I want to leave you with is be self-disciplined and think about your future self whenever you feel like getting off track. Just like how I did last night when I asked myself, would future Julia be happy if I watched an hour longer of Netflix? No, future Julia would not have been happy about that. So therefore we didn't do it. So that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you and I will see you in my next one.